Lots of people believe in the abstract theory of alien life, but some people believe aliens have not only visited Earth, they actually placed a mysterious device into orbit above our planet thousands of years ago that they used to communicate with humanity. Sounds crazy? Here's a look at the mystery of the Black Knight satellite. First sighting. In 1954, the New York Times ran an article saying that Dr. Lincoln La Paz had discovered 2 satellites orbiting the Earth. The reason this was news? In 1954, no country had managed to launch any satellites yet. Whatever La Paz saw, it was enough to worry the Pentagon for a while that the Russians might have beaten America into space. La Paz later said he made it all up, while the Army said no such satellites existed. Still, many people believe the satellites were there, and they were made by aliens. The Tesla connection. Nikola Tesla is the internet's favorite scientist and is famous for lots of other things too, like inventing the Tesla coil, his dislike of women, and his strange obsession with pigeons. In 1899, though, he made his most controversial discovery when he claimed to have received an electric signal sent by aliens. He even published an article for Collier's Weekly subtly titled "Talking with the Planets," where he theorized the signal was from Mars. Modern conspiracy theorists, however, believe Tesla was actually intercepting a message from the Black Knight satellite. The next communication. According to Vice, in 1927, a Norwegian engineer named Jørgen Hals was listening to radio signals when he noticed that some of them had a strange echo. Despite turning to other physicists for help, Hals could never explain these long-delayed radio echoes, but some believe the answer is pretty obvious. Space race sighting. By the end of the 1950s, the space race was in full swing, and both the US and USSR had managed to put satellites in orbit. But according to Skeptoid, on February 11, 1960, a radar used by the US Navy picked up the presence of a strange, dark, tumbling object that didn't belong to either country. Americans freaked out, worried that it was a new Soviet satellite, but Time magazine announced it was just an innocent piece of space junk. However, thanks to declassified documents, we now know that it was a cover-up, as it was actually an American spy satellite doing reconnaissance on Russia. But is that just another layer to the deeper cover-up of the Black Knight satellite? The lost tape. Even the French managed to get in on the conspiracy action. In 1961, a scientist named Jacques Vallée made a startling discovery. There was a bright, unidentified object in retrograde, meaning it was moving in the opposite direction of Earth's rotation. The technology to put satellites in retrograde is available to humanity now, but didn't exist at the time. When Vallée showed a recording of his findings, though, his superior confiscated the tape and erased the footage. Nobody knows why, but some people believe it's because the lost tape showed proof of the existence of the Black Knight satellite. Or maybe... An astronaut's alleged sighting. Mercury 7 astronaut Gordon Cooper would seem to be a reliable source, so many conspiracy theorists put great stock in the rumor that Cooper saw the Black Knight satellite while orbiting the Earth. Allegedly, up to 100 more people on Earth even saw the satellite on their radar while tracking Cooper's flight. One problem though, according to Skeptoid, Cooper was adamant that his sighting of the Black Knight was made up by UFO fanatics. So what's the truth? Only the aliens know for sure. The people of Epsilon Boötis. In the 1970s, science fiction author Duncan Lennon took those radio echoes Jørgen Hals discovered in the 1920s and mapped them against constellations. He concluded that the signals were from the star Epsilon Boötis and claimed the decoded message said this: "Our home is Epsilon Boötis, which is a double star. We live on the 6th planet of 7. Check that, the 6th of 7 counting outwards from the Sun, which is the larger of the 2 stars. Our 6th planet has 1 moon. Our 4th planet has 3. Our 1st and 3rd planet each have 1. Our probe is in the orbit of your moon." Lennon later withdrew his claims, but theorists believe the mention of a probe orbiting the moon is actually talking about the Black Knight satellite orbiting Earth. Recent sightings. In 1998, the crew of Space Shuttle Endeavour photographed something in orbit that looked very similar to other images of the alleged Black Knight satellite. However, it was concluded that it was probably just a thermal blanket that had been lost in space. In 2015, there were at least 2 sightings, including an object passing in front of the moon and footage of the satellite hovering over Florida before disappearing. And in April 2017, there was footage released to tabloids that supposedly showed an Illuminati rocket blowing up the Black Knight satellite. The jury is still out on this one, but one thing is for sure: if that rocket was fired by the person who actually killed JFK, we could finally be close to getting some real